Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Advance. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we're going to be talking about that damn Ben Simmons again. But before we get into this video, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be talking about Ben Simmons again. Ben Simmons. Now, it's important that I mention this, that there's somebody already oiling up the machine to produce a video. There's somebody that doesn't like that I make videos about Ben Simmons. He always goes off on me for making videos about Ben Simmons, which is his current favorite player. Now, the irony in all of this is that this person's from New York based on his accent, and his favorite player growing up was, I think his favorite player of all time is Jason Kidd. And I don't know how you go from Jason Kidd to Ben Simmons, but I can kind of see the similarities. But here's what I've noticed as somebody that grew up in New York. Man, son, listen. For the younger cats watching this video from New York, we got to stop with this nonsense, man. I'm being serious. We got to stop liking players that we know may or may not end up being extremely great players. What am I talking about? We got to stop. And I know this is what New York dudes do. Anybody watching this video from New York, if I'm lying, correct me in the comment section. Tell me I'm capping. Grew up in New York. You know who my first, wasn't my first, but yeah. You know my two first favorite players in the NBA? Guess who they are? Was Kobe, and guess who else? Goddamn Steve Francis. Steve Francis. My cousin, who's from New York. You know who his favorite player is? De'Aaron Fox. Is De'Aaron Fox a scrub? No. But De'Aaron Fox is his favorite player. And for whatever reason, we like point guards. And then now I'm listening to this dude. His favorite player was Jason Kidd, but Jason Kidd is a top 75 guy, hell of a player. And then of course we just got this thing where we be liking dudes. And I'm like, yo, of all the NBA players, man, like Devin Booker, like KD, like Giannis, man, why do we do this? Like, any person from New York watching this video that watches ball knows exactly if you stop the average New Yorker on the street and you ask him, who's your favorite player? They're going to say somebody like Trae Young or something like that. They will never like a top 10 guy. I don't know if they like the underdog or whatever it is, but that's just something that I noticed. But anyway, back to this. So sorry for that diversion. Back to Ben Simmons. As you guys know, I've always stated, and I'm going to reiterate the point again, that Ben Simmons is wasting everybody's time. He's absolutely wasting everybody's time. I pay him no mind. I already knew that Ben Simmons is somebody that's not serious. This was my outlook on him. When he came into the NBA, he had a lot of promise. When he came in, he was playing well. He made some all-NBA team. Is it all-NBA, all-defensive teams? Showed tremendous promise. I thought one year he should have won the Defensive Player of the Year over Giannis Antetokounmpo. He didn't win it that year. So Ben Simmons was on this upward trajectory. And then all of a sudden, it's like he just lost his way somehow, right? Lost his way somehow. Ended up becoming a nuisance in Philly before he ultimately got traded to Brooklyn, where he's even stunk. It's like Ben Simmons walked in and threw a stink bomb in the arena in the training camp facility, and that was a wrap. Like, you're like, yo, Ben Simmons is here. So, as you guys know, the FIBA games are going on, and there's been a lot of talk around that. And some players have been making their commitment to teams, various countries that they want to support, et cetera, et cetera. Giannis pulled out, said he's not going to be playing in the FIBA games. And other players have pulled out, whatever. I think Nikola Jokic is not participating as well. Then I came across, a tweet from NBA Central a few days ago via ESPN. And essentially, the tweet had it was basically highlighting some comments that the Australian team's head coach had to say about Ben Simmons. But before we get into this tweet, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let me read what it has to say. Australia's head coach, Brian Goorjian, says he's not going to beg Ben Simmons to play for the national team. I'm not recruiting you. It's important for the country where you're not going. Please, Ben, please. We don't have anything if you don't play. We're not like that at all. So the head coach of that team has basically stated that he's not going to recruit Ben Simmons to come play. Now, I actually did some research on this topic, and based on some of the reports that I found, I read, that Ben Simmons expressed interest in playing and representing his country. That's what I heard. Now, there's a wrinkle in all of this. What's the wrinkle? The wrinkle is Ben Simmons is rehabilitating or was rehabbing from an injury he suffered. Based on some of the reports that I have heard that from reliable sources that Ben Simmons has made a 100% full recovery and is expected to return to himself and come into training camp healthy. I heard the same thing about Kawhi Leonard. Now, here's what's important about Ben Simmons. Whether or not he plays in the international games is absolutely irrelevant to me. It really doesn't matter. What matters instead is what his game is going to look like this season. Here's some information for you guys. Ben Simmons is only 27 years old. He's only 27. He's still a very, very, very young guy. And he just turned 27 in July. He just turned 27. So he's still very young. Ben Simmons has only played in the NBA for 5 years. So Ben Simmons should have at least a 12 to 13 year career. What does that mean? What I'm saying is there's a lot more work for Ben Simmons, and there's a lot more work that needs to be done by Ben Simmons. Now let's get to the most important thing here, why I said I'm more focused on next season. Last season, in 42 games, playing 26 minutes per game, Ben Simmons scored 6.9 points per game. He shot 56.6% from the field, but he only attempted 5.6 shots a game, which is incredible. He shot 0% from the three, nothing new there. He shot 43.9% from the free throw line. That is a staggering number because his free throw shooting percentage dropped by almost 18 percentage points in one season. The year before, he was shooting 61.3%. He then got you 6.3 rebounds, 6.1 assists, 2.3 turnovers, and 1.3 steals. Here's the point. Ben Simmons is not living up to his contract. Now, some could say that, well, he was injured. Okay, good. He was injured. Is he still injured? No. So what does this mean? What it essentially means is that coming into this season, Ben Simmons needs to produce. No more excuses. No more is this guy's fault. Is the coach's fault. Is the weather in New York? Is this person's fault? No. Ben Simmons needs to play well. And I assure you, if Ben Simmons plays well and he has a stellar year, trust me, the narrative on him will change. This is not the media doing this to Ben Simmons. It's Ben Simmons doing it to himself. Those numbers are the numbers he produced, not Doc Rivers, not Joel Embiid, not me, not any other naysayer out there. Is Ben Simmons. So if he wants the narrative to change, he must change and he must deliver. And I'm going to be eager to see the development in his basketball game this year and to see if Ben Simmons has actually taken a step or not. So what I want to know from you guys is simply this. Do you think Ben Simmons is going to take a step forward this year when he returns? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comments and we catch you on the next show. Peace.